Hi guys, welcome to another week of English 1A Online. I hope you feel like immersed in this sense of academic writing. We've already read quite a few what we would call collegiate essays, and now it's time to start writing your own. So let's go over to the modules and look at what we've accomplished so far. In the first couple weeks, we really talked about education. And you read different authors who wrote in very different styles about problems in education. And then in week 3, we moved more about like humanity and compassion. Well, obviously there was one called on compassion, but giving to the poor and poverty. And then in week 4, where we're starting off now, we're going to read some articles about technology. So first one, is Google making us stupid? This is a fantastic look at how we easily get distracted and our brain skips around from idea to idea. And then the next one is Facebook making us miserable, and the idea that social media can really create a lot of jealousy. And then growing up tethered, this idea that we're all too connected to our technology now. So I want you to read these 3 pieces. And those will hopefully give you more of a sense of, again, this academic writing. But in our discussion this week, you're going to show us what it is that you want to write about for the problem solving essay. So let me kind of move through it. We're going to talk about thesis statements. So I want you to read through my little lecture here. And then the next one is on topic sentences. This is an error I see a lot in student writing because people forget that that first sentence really needs to connect back to the thesis statement. And here we are in our discussion on thesis statements. These are very common templates to follow on how to write a thesis statement. You don't have to use them when you write your paper, but I want you to practice doing it in our discussion this week. So try plugging in language to all of these templates for the topic that you want to write your paper on. Before you respond to this discussion, you need to pick out what your paper will be about so that you can also start your outline. A formal outline really will show me that you have thought about what you want to include in your paper. And because it's a problem solving essay, these 3 things need to happen in the body paragraphs. So obviously start with an introduction, then you're going to analyze the causes of the problem, the effects of the problem, and then solutions to the problem. Here are some possible topics, but there's one more thing I want to throw in there. I want you to add aspects of narration, just like all the readers that we've covered in class so far. They included their own personal experiences and observations in their papers. I want you to do the same, which means this paper could be written all in the first person. I did this, I experienced that, etc. But you have to use some of our course readings. So that's the outline we're doing this week. Before I skip over though, I want to point out the assignment instructions, which are, it is somewhere around here. Okay, right here, the final draft. The final draft is where you'll see the complete instructions for the essay. It's not due till the end of next week, but I want you to look at the directions before you write the outline. So again, you're picking a problem in our society that you have firsthand experience with. So for example, if I were to talk about nutrition and poverty, I might write something about the fact that I had gestational diabetes in my pregnancies, and I would include information from sources like on dumpster diving and how we maybe eat things that are not so expensive, but then are not very healthy, or Michael Pollan's unhappy meals. So this is, again, an example outline of how you can write this week, but also will help you get started on the final paper. Your rough draft will be due in a peer review next Thursday. So once you start writing that outline, I encourage you to change it into a draft as soon as possible. And again, you can see my my rubric on how I will be grading you as well. So again, this week, 2 things: a discussion on thesis statements and the outline. As soon as you have figured out your outline, start the drafting process, because the rough draft will be due in our discussion area next week. All right, guys, good luck, and let me know if you need any help.